Okay, so thanks for joining tonight's class on love and compassion. It's the 31st of October 2023. That's Halloween, I think, tonight, Halloween. Sorry about the mess, I'm just moving my office around. So tonight's class is quite, there's quite a lot involved. It's not complicated, it's probably just a little bit unfamiliar. And it may be familiar if you've done it before, and it's from Tibetan Buddhism. And the practice is called taking and giving. So we take on others' suffering, imaginary, we don't do it for real, obviously. We imagine taking on others' sufferings, which requires a leap of faith to do this. Might be a little bit of nervousness around that. Take on their suffering with a heart of compassion, and then we give our happiness to them from a heart of love. And we can, in Tibetan Buddhism, there are definitions for lots of states of mind, which I think is an absolutely beautiful thing. Really, really helpful. If we learn definitions of states of mind and understand how they function, we're more likely to know what we're experiencing, what state we're in. It's not always obvious what state we're in. We become more and more like a bird spotter of our mind. And one of the ways to do that is to notice where we feel the feeling. We start to map it for ourselves as a meditator. When I feel ashamed, I tend to feel it in my fingers or my chest or my shoulders or my stomach. You know, when I feel indignant, maybe I feel it in my face. You know, sexual craving around the loins, it might be feeling choked up, maybe grief. And we start to plot these things, but also, besides knowing where they are inside of us, which is emotional intelligence. You ask somebody who hasn't meditated before, or done anything like it, what they're feeling and where, and it's quite surprising. We tend not to know. We tend to live from here up, generally, as people. Probably not as kids, but as adults we do, because we tend to function from fear. There's an underlying fear that tends to be about, which is protecting this sense of me, this mirage of a me, trying to protect this thing that doesn't actually exist, but appears to the mind to be a me. And that creates agitation in the mind and protection. And that protection is in the nature of fear. And so we try to think our way out of fear all the time. If I can do this and I can do that and I can do this and I can make my to-do list get smaller, then there'll be less fears. And if I do this and say this to this person and get that signed off and do this and do that, there'll be less fear and less worry. And actually, worry and fear are just agitations in the mind. And it's just movement. Literally, it's just movement in the mind. So if we don't have any movement in the mind, we can look at these things that would normally inject some fear and worry and concern and anxiety. And we can look at them and go, yeah, I've got these things to do. I'll get on with those. And we do that to whatever degree. We're experiencing reduction in mental agitation in that moment. Who knows what the next moment will bring for anyone, or the next day or the next week. And it goes ups and downs. You know, we know that as a meditator. But hopefully your background calm is coming down and down and down. That might be happening and you're not even realize it, because you're getting the peaks and troughs. So you're getting like you're getting the noise, but that noise is doing this. It's coming down lower and lower, and the general curve is downwards for the background calmness. With that agitation, we try and think our way out of the problem. And we have that mind that wants to berate us and criticize us, critique us. That keeps us all in here. And the journey in meditation is to go from here into here. You know, I think I've heard it said that it's the longest journey from here to here. And that's heartfelt stuff. And that's what we're doing tonight. That's tonight's class, is heartfelt meditation on compassion and love. And when we first do it, it's in here. It's a cerebral, conceptual idea, thinking meditation. There's quite a bit of visualization in it. And then gradually, as we do these meditations, we start to notice that we are able to come in here. And this becomes home. This stops becoming home so much. And we live more in here, around our body, and less in the head, more in the body. And we tend to have a tightness all the way down. All the way down, we tend to have a tightness. And then gradually it starts to relax out. Further and further down. And you've probably heard people talk about chakras opening up and all that sort of thing. Well, as far as I'm concerned, and I may well be completely wrong with this, but the way I live my life and practice spirituality is these are effects. These are a sideshow. I don't do anything with them. Other people may. But for me, finding peace, dealing with trauma, trying to be a nicer person, trying to accept myself as I am, which seems like a bit of a paradox, really, doesn't it? But all those sorts of things, I find work fine with the sort of tools and techniques and methods, and they can be added to other things, that yoga, other meditations, millions of things. Principally, it's coming down from here to here and feeling love and feeling compassion for ourselves. It has to be, it has to include ourselves for you. You know, if you need to hear it, you can feel love for yourself. You can feel compassion for yourself. There's this misconception that if we're loving ourselves, that we're practicing narcissism or something. We're not. It's not trying to make us bigger or better than anyone else. You know, the old sort of, ooh, you love yourself sort of thing. It's not that. It's care. It's care for this person here and the other people and the other animals and insects. And it's very easy for us to miss ourselves out, isn't it? That's what we tend to do. And there'll be some resistance to this meditation because we miss ourselves out. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to tweak the meditation tonight. I've just realized that in what I've just said there, we can do this practice with ourselves. So we're healing ourselves. We're going to imagine ourselves either as we are now or a past version of ourselves. And we're going to do taking and giving for that past self. So it's healing meditation tonight. And it starts to come from here gradually. But we don't need to rush that. So meditation can take weeks and months and some years to get from here to here. That's why it's called the longest journey. And then every now and again, it just opens up. It just opens up and it feels light. That's for me anyway, that's the experience, is the mind is relaxed. And as a meditator, it seems weird what that even means. But then as we become more aware of our body, feelings in our body, we start to notice things relax out as our mind changes. And that's where the definitions come in. So love, we can define love as wishing for someone to be happy or something to be happy. If I wish for my dog to be happy, I'm expressing love. And you'll have said it. I just want you to be happy. We say it to our children. I just want you to be happy. If anybody's ever said to you, I just want you to be happy, you know, relatives, parents, sisters, brothers, whatever it might be, you might not even get on with them, but you might recall that at times they've said it to you. That it's a very pure intent. I just want for you to be happy. I want you to be happy. And compassion is wishing for myself or somebody else to be free of their suffering. Wishing for them to be free of their suffering. But that's not rescuing. And there's a bit of a paradox to compassion, because compassion wants to alleviate suffering. You know, the classic is Mother Teresa and people who are just, well, there's doesn't have to be Mother Teresa. The fact of it is that there's millions and millions and millions of people doing things like Mother Teresa right now, They just don't hit the news. We live in a world full of incredible people who do incredible acts of kindness all the time, millions and millions, just in England, and then millions in other countries. And their wish is for the self and others to be free from suffering. And the paradox is that the more that wish arises for others to be free from the suffering, the more we can sit with others in their suffering without needing to change it. Seems like a bit of a paradox, but compassion is peaceful. We're going to do it. I'll guide this meditation. We'll do the body relaxation and the breathing meditation. So if you just like to get yourself comfortable. Oh, love, I want you to be happy. Suffering, compassion. I want your suffering to end. So we bring our chin down just a little, traditionally, crown of the head up. This helps to keep it comfortably straight back so that we don't get mental sinking. That's one of the obstacles in meditation, is to feel drowsy, mental sinking. If we try too hard in meditation, we get mental excitation. We busy the mind. It's like, and then we conclude that meditation doesn't work, because if we busy the mind, more thoughts come. So we're just trying to find a middle ground of effort, of concentration. It takes a while to get familiar with the experience of that middle ground. And bring your awareness to your body. Become aware of your body. Notice your limbs, your torso, your head, your feet. And we've sort of got an image there of a body, haven't we? It's sort of like there's a single body there. But what we're actually experiencing mostly is contact, is skin contact. And then our mind joins up the gaps between all those contacts and forms an image of an overall object. A bit like dot to dot in 3D. Now please bring your awareness to your face. Let your muscles relax in your face. Maybe, we've had a stressful or a tiring or upsetting day. Or, one of those days, and we can just relax. Just relax. In a couple of 100 years, no one will even know that we've been here, probably. None of what we've worried about will matter one bit in a couple of 100 years. Just be stories. Let your face relax. Most of what we go through is not important. Now we can become aware of the cheekbones. Relax the cheeks and the jaw muscles. Relax those off too. And feel caring towards yourself in the way you breathe. Let your breath let out the anxiety and the stresses and the worries. Let your breathing be naturally comforting and caring. And this is where you can notice that you may get some mental sinking. The mind starts to get a little bit drowsy. So we just pep it up a bit with a little bit of concentration as we relax. Check in with it. Relax around your eyes. Bring the awareness to the shoulders now. Relax the shoulders off. Imagine all the tension comes out of the shoulders and the neck. All the pressures of life just float away for now. Now we bring our awareness to our left shoulder and scan all the way down the left arm, all the way down to the fingertips, checking for tension, being gentle and relaxing it. And now from the right shoulder, same thing all the way down. And now from the left thigh, the left hip, bring your awareness to there. Check for tension, let it relax off, all the way down. Now to the right. Now we're going to relax our abdomen. We're going to visualize black smoke swirling around inside of our body. And bound up in it is our guilt and our shame, which blocks our happiness. They say you've done bad things, you don't deserve to be happy. And it's not true. We wouldn't apply that to somebody else. Well, we shouldn't. Everyone's got the right to feel happy, I believe. And as you breathe out, visualize the black smoke coming up through your throat, the nostrils, the black smoke, and that self-criticism, that self-loathing, that sense of shame and guilt, all those negativities bound up in this black smoke, billow out into the distance. We're liberating ourselves from them, letting them go. They're not valid. They never were. As you breathe out, visualize them disappearing into the distance with the black smoke. And then bring your breathing back to its normal rhythm. Now we're going to do some sparkling light visualization of breathing in sparkling golden light. And as we breathe in lightheartedness, effervescence. Life can be hard, but we've all got the right to be happy. We've all got the right to be experience nice states of mind, positive states of mind, virtuous. So as you breathe in sparkling golden light, imagine joy and fun, lightheartedness comes in. Like you experienced at times as a child, where you just see something that absolutely fascinated you or you loved. And it was amazing to just be alive. Well, it is now. As you breathe in, lightheartedness, gentleness, happiness. The last few golden light breaths, imagine it spreads around your body and your mind, makes everywhere it goes feel lighter, more supple, almost floaty. Now we're going to do the breathing meditation. Follow the breath all the way down and all the way out. Now this brings peace because of the concentration aspect. Concentration brings peace. That just means that we stay with the intended experience. So we follow the breath. If the mind wanders away to something else, we just come back and refocus on the breath. And just enjoy breathing deeply. Enjoy breathing with ease, with rest, restful breathing. And notice the breath coming in and out. Now bringing the awareness into the nostril linings. We notice that it's cooler as we breathe in and it's warmer as we breathe out. And again, this is the object of our meditation. It's where we bring our awareness back to. We'll realize that the mind has wandered away. A little extra concentration in this week. See if you can stay with these sensations for a little longer. If thoughts start flooding in, ease it off a little. Just breathing, just focusing on the flow of breath and enjoying it, the simplicity, the beauty there. And finally, we bring our awareness to the rims of the nostrils. The very rims of the nostrils. Same sensations, same focus. Concentration is becoming narrower, more precise. Which check in every now and again that we're still doing it. Little mental factor, alertness. Yeah. Just like prepping a room for painting. If we do it thoroughly, then the paint job's better. We've spent quite a bit of time relaxing the mind. We're going to do the taking and giving now, the love and compassion, beautiful meditation. So I'd like you to imagine you at a certain age in front of you. Let your mind just generate you from a certain age, you don't have to know the age, certain version of you. And contemplate the suffering of this version of you, from everyday little things to perhaps things that were really troubling you at this point in your life. And contemplate them. As you contemplate this suffering, and we can do it deeply because it's very easy to skim over the sufferings that we've been through. It closes the gap between us and others. We then develop this wish for our past self to be free from this suffering, as if they're here now with it. And as we make this wish, as we breathe in, we visualize in the form of black smoke from their heart, their suffering coming into our nostrils, down into our heart. And it comes into us, we visualize it and imagine it coming into us. And through the power of our compassion, this suffering that's come in transforms into golden light. And then as we breathe out, we think, how wonderful for you to be happy, or I wish for you to be happy. And this golden light comes from our heart to our past self's heart, or current one. I'd like you to choose a period where it was difficult for you, there's unfinished healing. Be flexible what comes up, it might surprise you. And then as you breathe in the black smoke from them, their suffering in the full black smoke. Imagine it comes down your nostrils into your chest area. The power of its compassion transforms your heart into golden light, and then as you breathe out, imagine the golden light comes out, touches your past self at the level of the heart and warms it, relieves the suffering, warms the heart with love. We visualize black smoke bound up with the suffering, the precise, specific suffering of us at this time, at this moment, comes into us with our breath, to our heart. It melts through the power of our compassion to golden light, and as we breathe out, we give love in the form of golden light coming out of our nostrils, across that divide to that past self, and they feel this light, and it warms them, it heals them, it lifts them, just as the compassion relieves them. Imagine this past self in front of you feeling alleviated from suffering and warmed by your love as you do these rounds of breathing. Now just rest in the feeling, whatever feeling you have right now. Whether it's happiness for that love, whether it's poignancy from that suffering, that compassion. Just rest with whatever is here for you right now. Don't judge it. You have to name it. Just rest with what is here. This is a journey from there to the heart. You bring your awareness into your body, like you might notice whether your hands are cold or not. Bring your awareness around your heart area and your stomach. Notice what feeling is here. And then if your mind wanders away, come back to it and just rest in it. And finally, we can dedicate this peace, this concentration. There's a lot in this meditation, the peace, the concentration, which is the focus, the mindfulness, staying in the moment, the love, this wishing for our past self to be happy, compassion, wishing for him or her to be free from suffering, or they. I think hopefully you'll feel like I do, that there's also a practice of humility in that. When we contemplate suffering, it reduces our pride. We suffer just like other people, maybe more sometimes. And just allow yourself to feel whatever you feel as it is, and then when it's comfortable, just gently allow your eyes to open. Thank you. Thanks for joining in live. If you're listening to this as a recording, thank you very much for doing that also. You can see more of my recordings on my YouTube channel, Paul Follows Meditations, and you can sign up for my reminder for these classes on the front page of my website, paulfollows.com. I'm doing them sort of ad hoc at the moment because personal circumstances, got a lot going on. And normal twice a week will resume at some point. So just check the reminders to see when things are on. Thank you.